Yeah, I'm getting a new haircut. Hey, Bath, what's up? And today I'm gonna do the final album review of the Gorillaz review series, and that is Humanz. Yes, I'm reviewing it again. You know, I've done a mini album review on this album already a few months ago, but this time we're gonna dive deeper and go deeper and give this LP an in-depth analysis and give this a fair, unbiased score. And also, I'm going to talk about the bonus tracks and the track DoYaThing because I forgot to talk about it in the fall album review. So, Gorillaz virtual band led by Damon Albarn, illustrated by Jamie Hewlett, they're back after 6 years of silence, after the underwhelming iPad album, The Fall. But before The Fall, their albums were all really solid, great, and consistent, and that's why everyone had so much hype over their new album, Humanz. And as it turns out, it's a bit of a letdown. While it's obvious that Damon was shooting for the stars on this project, it still didn't work that well because either the album itself isn't strong enough or the fact that the featured artists are completely overshadowing Gorillaz themselves. At this point, it's more like a compilation album created by Gorillaz than an actual Gorillaz album. The album starts off with an intro cut that's just basically Damon speaking with some reverb. Damn, how could an intro cut be that boring? Same goes to all the interludes on this album. All of them are really uninteresting and bland. They're sorta political, but not really, except for the nonconformist oath. I had a good laugh at that interlude because it's kinda hideous, but funny because of that. And I do kinda get why it's called I Switched My Robot Off. It's sorta like, now my solo album, Everyday Robots, is over, and now I'm making Gorillaz music again. So yeah, it's kinda pointless. The actual first track is Ascension, featuring Vince Staples. The instrumentals are entrancing and fun. While there are no distinct melody in this track, the main character of this track is Vince. He spits a really smooth and exciting flow on this one, which I love. The sky's falling, baby, drop that ass for it crash.
The sky's falling, baby, drop that ass for it crash. The sky's falling, baby, drop that ass for it crash.
And then 2D jumps in with a really gentle voice again, and I like his part too, especially when the strings in the back become very disorienting and swirly. Overall, I'm digging this track a hell lot. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. The next track, Strobelite, brings a more different tone, however. It features these very bouncy and playful bass and some clanky percussions with some shakers. Wow, what a tongue twister. With some shakers. Which makes for a lighthearted and relaxing neo-soul pop track. The track features Pevin Everett. Why did I put quotation marks around Pevin Everett? The track features Pevin Everett, even though it's obvious that this track is a Pevin Everett track featuring Gorillaz. Actually, I don't think Gorillaz even made an appearance on this track. Despite that, I think the vocal melodies are fantastic, especially for the verses. They are catchy and lavishing at the same time.
Momentary pain can be pleasure lane. Millisecond change, magic lantern strains. Are we just too far to be as one again?
I'm giving Strobelite an 8 out of 10. The third track is Saturn Barz, which has a virtual reality promotional video on YouTube. Check it out. It's an awesome music video with all sorts of visuals and colors blending into one another, and the band members itself getting spooked by these creatures and monsters, and it's spectacular. But the song itself is actually not that bad, even though I won't say it's great. It has a slow, steady, and dragged beat, and a very psychedelic and intoxicating instrumental, which I dig quite a bit.
All my life I'm in a stinking bar, I got debts, I'm a debaser. All my life Saturn about to my love, and I'm just a heartbreaker.
The song features Popcorn, but it's more like Popcorn featuring Gorillaz. It's his. Why? I don't know why I misspell so many things in this script. His Jamaican accent is really strong and it gives the track a lot of persona. And I personally love Damon's little verse towards the end as well, with a hologram beside me, I'll dance alone tonight. That's so sad. But other than being a heavy, slow, Halloween-flavored tune, it's nothing that grand or intriguing, but I still love it. I'm giving Saturn Barz a 7 to an 8 out of 10. Then it's Moments, featuring De La Soul, again. It has a very steady 4/4 beat, but this time it's pacey, sharp, and round. Damon goes in with an echoey, dizzy verse that comes off as bland because there's no melody backing it up. And then De La Soul comes in, and despite their really strong and exciting energy, it still feels kind of impotent and toothless. But then towards the end, they sound like they're being possessed. While I do enjoy the energy of the performances, the refrain Moments is kind of exciting, but the bombastic kick drums are ugly and hideous. They just keep on pumping and squashing. It's really damn annoying. I like how sharp and fun this track tries to be, but there's nothing all that interesting, to be honest. I'm giving Moments a 5 out of 10. And then after an interlude, we have Submission, which is a gigantic head scratch. It features legendary abstract rapper Danny Brown and also profound R&B artist Kalela, but both of them show up in this half-baked, mundane little track. Both of their performances are great. I like the R&B fusions of this track, but the beat is sleepy, the instrumentals are pretty dull and worn off. These 2D woodwinds don't help at all. And then Danny pops in as the track was about to die out, but it was already too late. I've already lost interest in the track at that point. And by the way, why is Danny Brown even featured in here? This track is totally not what Danny Brown should be rapping in, you know? It's so un-Danny Brown-like. I'm giving Submission a 4 out of 10. Up next, we have Charger, which redeems the album a little bit because it's surprisingly a pretty fun, wordy banger. A cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha-cha. Everything is so to get it. I just don't know where I'm getting it from.
Similar to Moments, it relies heavily on beats and percussions, but this time it's way more eccentric and exciting. Damon comes in half rapping with a robotic voice, and it's one of the rare times where Damon takes up most of the track. And his verses are more sassy and sarcastic, and I like that. This track also features Grace Jones, who had a pretty freaky and awesome performance on this track. And I also really love the buzzing guitar samples. That sounds like a car starting. I'm giving Charger an 8 out of 10. And then we have another completely pointless interlude leading up to Andromeda, which is a very laid-back, chill, relaxing synth-funk tune. Nice carefree summer holiday by a cold, quiet swimming pool, alone, sipping some mojito, enjoying life. I like that Damon's also dominating the track here. It's rare to see him around on this album. I like the very bright and smooth synths and the bouncy, deep, bassy beat. And this track also features Dram, except his vocals are paired with Damon's and they sort of sings together in the hook. Despite the fact that Dram didn't do much on this track, I really, really dig the track. It's really relaxing and catchy.
Take it in your heart now, lover.
The instrumental solo is slick as well. I mean, when the instrumental solo, the synth solo kicks in, damn, it's just so dancey and fun and interstellar, but it still retains its cool, you know? I'm giving this track a 10 out of 10. Probably my favorite track on the entire album. Up next is Busted and Blue, which is a very bland and mundane little piece of ambient folk track singing. The instrumentals are really faint and weak. The vocals are kind of average. There's nothing too sentimental about this track. So yeah, it's a really forgettable track. It's like Damon Albarn trying to make one of those sad ballads on Everyday Robots, but with a more quirkier tone. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. And then after another pointless interlude, we have Carnival featuring Anthony Hamilton, the great-great-great-grandson of Alexander Hamilton. No, I'm just kidding. Just like one of the other tracks on the album, this track doesn't really do much. I do like how intoxicating and moodily heavy it sounds. I kinda dig the descending bass and the melodic vocals, but that's pretty much it. The beat and the instrumentals still lack a lot. And while Anthony's vocals are good, I just don't get why his vocals get cut off all the time, and there are all these dead silent moments. I'm giving Carnival a 6 out of 10. But then the album hits yet another peak with Let Me Out featuring Pusha-T and Mavis Staples.
If you want it, change come to pass. You best be ready for it.
Something out the country fair is about to change its form.
Pusha T's slow and on-point delivery is great. Mavis Staples' singing is really soulful and the beat is amazing. It sounds like a giant metallic ball bouncing off the walls of a concealed circle-shaped room. It's kinda echoey and bouncy. Damon is actually not bad on this track. The vocal melodies is catchy despite it being a bit dry because the track doesn't have much in terms of instrumentals, but still, I enjoy this track a lot. I'm giving Let Me Out a 9 out of 10. And then we have yet another pointless interlude. Why? The next pair of tracks are Sex Murder Party and She's My Caller. The former features Jamie Principle and Zebra Cats, and the latter features Colombian pop singer Kali Uchis, who's actually a good singer. Yeah, Sex Murder Party is perhaps one of the more uninteresting tracks on the album. In fact, probably the least interesting. The skippy beats gets a little obnoxious, the features are middle of the road at best, and Damon's being Damon. Yeah, there's not much to say about this track despite listening to it over and over again. It's just this underwhelming track that's neither an exciting pop song, a slick rock song, or an electronic dance song. It's nothing, really. And is this track even written? The verses by Jamie Principle are almost as if it's improvised. There are moments of awkward, dead silence, and then there are moments where it sounds like the lyrics are made up on the spot. So, I don't know what the hell's going on with this track. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. The track, She's My Caller, has a more rough, ragged beat with a sensual and melancholic tone, while Damon's vocals are, as usual, very soft and melancholic. Kali Uchis' performance is more lively and intimate. I like Kali's performance, but other than that, this track doesn't offer too much of anything. The beat is decent, even though it's sort of in the backseat while Damon leads the thing. It's just results in yet another underwhelming and dime-a-dozen track. I'm giving She's My Caller a 6 out of 10. And the next pair of tracks are the last two tracks, Hallelujah Money and We Got the Power. Hallelujah Money is the first teaser single towards the album, and this track got a lot of Gorillaz fans mad because it doesn't sound like Gorillaz at all. It's this slow and hideous soul pop track that features a very satirical and theatrical performance from Benjamin Clementine. It's the root for all evil.
But not our tree, and thank you, my friend, for trusting me. Hallelujah, hallelujah, money.
I actually like how soothing and sweet it sounds. It's kind of like, it kind of has this 1930s movie score vibe to it, if you know what I mean. And the vocal performance by Benjamin is quite stunning. However, the bleeps and bloops on this track is a little redundant and too static, maybe, and this song as a whole can put people to sleep. It's relaxing, but so relaxing it makes me sleepy. Still, it's not a bad track. I'm giving Hallelujah Money a 6 to a 7 out of 10. And the album sort of ends off with We Got the Power, which is this super optimistic new world kind of motivational happy ending track. It features Jenny Beth for vocals and Noel Gallagher for the guitars. And to be honest, I don't hate the song all that much. I think the message is quite good, saying how we got the power to love each other no matter what happens. But yeah, the way this line is being sung out is just so clunky and gross. We got the power to be loving each other no matter what happens. We got the power to do that. But the song itself is a little cheesy and a little too corny. Not only is Jenny Beth's guest feature on here is so misplaced, the mixing overall is really bad. The vocals are so layered and smudged together while being backed by these uplifting synths. It's so obnoxious. The vocals are all cluttered and smashed together. It's kind of gross. So yeah, it's not a good song. It's just meh. I'm giving We Got the Power a 4 to a 5 out of 10. And then let's dive into the bonus tracks of this album, because why not? I like that there is still an interlude between the bonus tracks and the standard tracks, but still, it doesn't mean that the bonus tracks suck ass. The Apprentice is just a boring beach pop, low-grade synth-funk song that features Rag & Bone, whose performance is so emotionless and lifeless. I do like how summery and relaxing it sounds, but that's the only good thing. It's a 5 out of 10. The track Halfway to the Halfway House is even worse. The instrumentals are a total hot mess. It has these odd ascending sounds that doesn't do anything to the chord progression. It's just there and it's annoying as hell. And these ugly instrumentals are backed by these slow and confusing vocals. It's a 3 out of 10. The track Ticker Tape is actually an okay ballad. It's lo-fi, cutesy, and relaxing. But still, it's kind of forgettable. It's a 6 out of 10. The track Out of Body is probably the best song out of the bonus tracks, even though it's not that great either. Unpopular opinion here, but I don't quite like Kilo Kish's intimate, sassy delivery. It always comes off to me as fake sexy. But admittedly, the beat switch in the middle of the track is really exciting and fun. It's a 7 out of 10. And then we have Circle of Friends, which is basically Damon Albarn pretending to be Beyonce or some R&B artist similar to her, because this track is a very underwhelming, airy, hollow, sort of, soul choir song. It's probably a 4 out of 10. But before ending the review off, I do really want to talk about the crazy and unexpected Gorillaz Andre 3000 and James Murphy collaboration in 2012 when they released a 13-minute long epic monster track. Yes, Gorillaz, they released Plastic Beach not too long before the track. LCD Sound System released This Is Happening not too long before the track. And in fact, This Is Happening is probably my favorite album in the year 2010. And Andre 3000, one half of the legendary hip-hop duo Outkast. Yeah, he's back on this track. The instrumentals are quirky and fun, and thanks to James Murphy, it's made extra quirky and fun. Damon Albarn does his own thing with the slow and in-character British rapping, saying he's the light in the mall when the power is gone, and the shadow in the corner just playing along.
Summer got mad cause winter blooming, that juicy fruit, that's blucious blues. Generation X on bloop to bloop. Get duke, gotta get duke duke.
Then James Murphy comes in and sings the chorus, which is really catchy and fun. And then Andre 3000 comes in, and he fucking kills it. It's insane. Clearly, this dude still has it. He comes in and sings for a verse. Then he raps in such a high speed and precision, it blows my mind. And there are a couple of lines that are straight up iconic quotables, like, "Summer got mad cause the winter blew me," or "If it ain't hip or don't hop, well then hush. Man, they sound like, man, they stole yo, man, they load like, nope, it ain't us." And man, he says this really fast. I don't even know how did he do it. Damn. And in the second half of this track, the instrumentals just build up to such a destructive, noisy, post-punk level with screaming guitars and wailing synths, where Andre 3000 exclaims, "I'm the shit!" over and over again, and it just drives him totally insane. damn, this is such a great song. It's undoubtedly a 10 out of 10. But still, overall, the Gorillaz' long-anticipated return is quite underwhelming and disappointing. It sounds more like a compilation album curated by Damon Albarn than an actual Gorillaz album. The features overshadow the Gorillaz sound itself, and not even all the features are great. Some of them are just misplaced. There are a couple of tracks here and there that I enjoy quite a bit, admittedly, but even though they're great songs, they don't have the Gorillaz sound that they used to have on Demon Days or Plastic Beach or the self-titled debut. Also, it's like Damon Albarn is trying to get political on this album, but he's a little afraid to because it may break the fourth wall too much. And why are politics on this album in the first place anyway? It's in the Gorillaz world. And even though the album is versatile and ambitious, the musical quality is just not quite there. On Gorillaz' first 3 projects, what makes a virtual, non-existent band so great is because of its colorful, vibrant, and detailed world. And it's just absent on this album. The worst is Sex Murder Party, and the best is Andromeda, or Ascension, if you're not in a good mood. I'm giving Gorillaz' Humanz a 5 to a 6 out of 10. So, have you listened to Gorillaz' Humanz? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. And I swear I'll be getting a new haircut soon.